Hey everyone, this is Lucy, and in this video I'll be walking you through 5 mini AWS Cloud projects. These projects will only take you a few hours to build, and you can add them onto your resume or portfolio to showcase your hands-on experience. We're going to start off with a super basic beginner-friendly project, and then we'll move on to some more intermediate and advanced ones that will give you a deeper knowledge of AWS. A big thank you to today's sponsor Coding Dojo, but more about them later in the video. Alright, let's just dive straight into it. The first cloud project is to host your own website on AWS. You might have come across website builders in the past like Squarespace or Webflow that make it super easy for you to launch and design a website. But the problem is, it doesn't teach you about the underlying technology or what happens behind the scenes to get the website up and running. In fact, many large companies prefer to set up their websites on AWS because it provides them with extra flexibility and scalability for the web infrastructure. And it's also much cheaper. This is why I recommend learning how to host a static website on AWS as your first cloud project. It's probably not the most exciting project on the list, but before we move on to the more fun ones, it's important to understand the basics. And web hosting is definitely one of the fundamental use cases that every cloud engineer or solutions architect should know. Now, there are many ways to host a website on AWS, but here's what I recommend doing. Step number 1, design your own website using HTML and CSS or download an existing website template. Step number 2, set up and configure an Amazon S3 bucket to store your website files. Step number 3, purchase a custom domain through Amazon Route 53 and connect it with an S3 bucket. Once that's done, you'll be able to view and access your website through the custom link. I actually have a step-by-step video tutorial for this project that I'll link in the description below. And if you prefer to read the instructions, I'll also have a link to my GitHub repo with a document sharing a more detailed guide on how you can set up the project. Here you'll find step-by-step instructions for all 5 projects in this video, as well as some additional resources to help you out if you get stuck. Overall, this first project should only take you about 30 minutes to 1 hour if you want to use an existing template, but it could take longer if you decide to customize your website design before hosting it. Once you're done building, you can add this line onto your resume and move on to project number 2. Okay, project number 2 is where things start to get interesting. In this project, you'll be visualizing data through charts and dashboards on Amazon QuickSight. You'll start by downloading a data set of 50,000 best-selling Amazon products and store it into an Amazon S3 bucket. And then you're going to connect that S3 bucket with Amazon QuickSight to create a few interesting visualizations from that data. Again, I have a video tutorial for this one as well, so you'll be able to follow along step by step. And you'll also be able to find written instructions on my GitHub page. This project should only take you about 1 to 2 hours to complete. And once you're done building the project, you can add this line onto your resume. Okay, so those were the 2 beginner level projects. Let's move on to the more intermediate ones. Project number 3 is where you'll integrate an Amazon Lex chatbot with Facebook Messenger. You could use this to create a customer service chatbot, a booking system, or even a trivia game. But I'll leave it up to you to explore and get creative with what you want your chatbot to do. But for now, let's break down the process into simple steps so that you can get started. The first step is to create an Amazon Lex chatbot with a name, a voice, and a session timeout. Next, create a Facebook page and app through the Facebook developer portal. Set up a webhook to receive messages from Facebook users. After that, integrate the Amazon Lex chatbot with Facebook Messenger and make sure you configure the correct settings. And the last step is to test your chatbot and make any improvements that you'd like. Once you've completed the project, you can add this line onto your resume. And as I mentioned earlier, you can really get creative with this project and build something interesting. Alright, project number 4 is another fun one. We're going to build a fortune teller application. Now, this application can't actually tell your fortune, and you probably shouldn't take any advice from it. But what you can do is ask any question that you like, and the application will tell you yes or no. For example, if you ask, should I have a pizza for lunch? The application would either reply with yes, no, or maybe. Here's how you build it. So first, set up an AWS Lambda function and configure the necessary settings. Next, write the code for generating random responses using Python's random module. After that, set up an API gateway, integrate it with the Lambda function, and once that's done, deploy your code and test it to see if the application runs properly. Once the project is completed, add this line onto your resume to describe what you built. I don't have a video tutorial for this project, unfortunately, but let me know in the comments below if you'd like me to record one. Now, before we move on to the next AWS project, which is more of an advanced one, I'd like to tell you about Coding Dojo, a coding bootcamp that offers full-time and part-time classes in software development, data science, and cybersecurity. Unlike many bootcamps that specialize in one stack, Coding Dojo's 3-stack curriculum provides graduates with a complete skill set. For example, students can start by learning JavaScript, then move on to another programming language, and after that, another one. This equips them with the ability to easily learn new technologies and languages as they come up in their career. At Coding Dojo, students learn by doing. They get the chance to tinker with code, code, make mistakes, and continue to practice and improve over time. And unlike other bootcamps, their graduates get a lifetime of support from their career services team. If you're new to coding and want to learn the basics, Coding Dojo offers free Intro to Web Development and Intro to Python workshops. These quick 2 to 3 hour workshops will immerse you into the world of programming and web development. You might even pick up some fundamental skills that can help you get started. So, if you're interested in checking out Coding Dojo, head to the link in the description below to find out more. Thank you Coding Dojo for sponsoring this video. Okay, finally we have project number 5, where our goal is to build a multi-tier, highly available, fault-tolerant web application. The good news is, even though this is more of an advanced project, AWS has a step-by-step tutorial that explains exactly how to build everything. I won't talk too much about this one because all the instructions are available over here, but I'll leave a link in the description below for you to try it out yourself. Here's a sneak peek of the architecture of what you will end up with. As you can see here, there's a VPC with 6 subnets, an internet gateway, an Amazon S3 bucket, and a few other AWS services being used. And there you have it, 5 AWS Cloud projects to help you get hands-on, get hired, and advance your career. If you found this video helpful, please remember to give it a like, and let me know in the comments below which project was your favorite. Alright, bye for now.